All right, I got my Dragon Age 2, that soundtrack. I want lo-fi. Dragon Age lo-fi beats, that'll do for now. I got my Dragon Age lo-fi beats. I'm getting up my Dragon Age Wikipedia just in case I'm unsure on information and I need to sound smart.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
that's
and lie to the public.
That's part of this, yeah.
That's part of this, is lying to the public. I have my hot takes ready. I have my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pages of notes. I'm
Incredible.
strapped in, baby. I'm strapped.
Excellent. Good.
What do you got?
I've got...
You're not even prepared to do a podcast.
No.
You're eating. You're eating... What is that? Is that a weed?
Digestives.
You're a fucking monster. Cultural appropriation. Eating my people's food.
It's appreciation, baby. It's appreciation.
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
But then later you're going to go and you're going to say, all right there, Gov. And it's going to be an offensive accent to show that it's actually appropriation. Not appreciation at all.
Do you know how many bad British accents I do on a daily basis?
I do know, because I'm subjected to most of them.
So many.
We haven't spoken in like 4 years.
It feels like 4 years. Why does it feel like 4 years?
Because we haven't... The last time you and I spoke was last recording. For this, right? It must have been.
No, that can't be. That cannot be. That can't be.
Friday?
No, we spoke...
We spoke on Monday for a project.
Monday. Yeah.
That's Monday to Friday. That is 5 days. And also,
that is
I will
very
say,
long.
that was a project. That wasn't us talking. We had a business meeting.
Made a business meeting. That's not the same thing.
Is that the longest we've gone without a call
in like a year?
In like a while.
Yeah. That's weird. No, I don't like that.
To be fair, in one of the calls, I did book tickets to go to New York. So I think that
true.
Supplements
that
something.
Does. That fixes.
Have you got my mail?
Things.
Have you got my Parappa the Rapper hat that I ordered?
No.
Damn it.
No.
It's just an exciting piece of trivia for people at home. Hi.
No. No.
No.
Okay. I just...
Wow, the energy's weird today, dude.
I know.
The energy's off. For people at home, for people in the future, I'd say more so. This is coming out. This is a day late. This is already Friday evening. We record Friday morning. We have had the busiest week
of all time.
It's insane. Not together either. Separately, we've had such busy weeks that I finished Dragon Age 2 1 hour ago. We are recording also later than we normally would. And Dillin had to rush all the way home.
I did. I had to rush all the way home. And I'm so excited to talk about Act 3.
Because now what? Hey, everyone. My name's Robin.
No. Oh my God, I'm not ready for it. Okay, say it. I'm ready
finished 2 Dragon Age games.
Oh my God. And I'm Dillin. I've played every Dragon Age game 1,000,000 times. I can't believe it.
Why are there tears in your eyes, you baby?
Shut the... Do you want to... I'm going to say nothing at your funeral. I'm going to spit. At your funeral.
Yeah, because you're dying before me. Because I'm going to take your life and then take my own. And then that's why you're not able to say anything. That's why I'm coming to you in a week. That's why I'm flying to you in a week, is because I'm going to take your life and then take my own. And we're going to do this show from beyond the grave.
It's a good thing that you're not leaving any sort of evidence mind.
Yeah,
It's
good
a
luck
really
editing
good thing
this. You're
that
gonna
you're
be dead.
not setting up yourself in any way. Good. Anyway, oh my god. We're at the finale of Dragon Age 2.
Yeah.
And I
need to take this sweater off. I'm wearing a jumper, like a hoodie, and I have to take it off. It's so
Yeah,
hot.
Robin's wearing a hoodie. I don't know why.
I have the radiator on. It's hitting that time of year.
Yeah.
I need to take it off. I'm present for you now. Sorry.
Thank you.
I couldn't focus. What's up, baby? Speak to me.
So I forgot that this is like, so Act 3 is the shortest of the acts in Dragon Age 2. But I guess, so I was worried about a lot of stuff going into Act 3 because my, like, friendships, likability with people was still kind of, it was like I was in like a above the middle ground with everybody.
Yeah.
But I was not like in a comfortable
100%.
place at all with anybody except Barrick, including Fenris, who had been romancing. So I was like,
wait, hold the presses. The ink is yet to dry. When I romanced Anders, I got 100% friendship instantly. Do you not get that with everyone?
So Fenris's romance, you are not done with Fenris's romance until well into Act 3.
Oh, fascinating.
So I slept with Fenris at the end of Act 2, and then he bounces. He leaves at the end of Act 2, like when you sleep with him. And he's like, I have to go. It's very broody.
It's his archetype, the dream.
Yeah. He's just like, I can't. But oh god, it's so good in Act 3.
Yeah.
I need to hear about Fenris's. I need to hear about Anders' romance because I actually have never experienced it. I've never even watched it, so I don't know anything about it.
You know, is this the game you know the least about? Never had Isabel in Act 3. Never romanced Anders.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will say that.
It feels like it from the way that you talk about shit.
Because I've romanced Fenris, I've romanced Meryl, and those are the only two I've done.
Yeah.
And I've never really I've never done a full playthrough otherwise.
Okay.
So yeah, I would say
that's
that.
Crazy.
How
do we want to? Now I know that you said you've never romanced Anders. What is that like? How do you want to hit us talking about Act 3?
I want to talk about. Okay, so I want to talk about Act 3 because Act 3 has a lot of. It has a lot of big character finishes that I didn't remember. So like what I was kind of leading up to is that I didn't realize that I didn't remember that there's so much like NPC character stuff that happens in Act 3. And then like the final beats of the game all kind of come together in Act 3. There's a big time jump and everything. It's 3 years?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yep.
3 years?
Yep.
So we time skip 3 years from Act 2 into Act 3, and life is different. And I just want to hit like I want to get into what I want to get into in Act 3 is I want to get into the relationship stuff, the character stuff, and then I want to get into the
story
big plot.
Awesome.
The plot. Hashtag.
Yeah. The hashtag plot.
The hashtag plot.
Awesome.
Tell me about the Anders romance and tell me about like where your hawk is.
So we open Act 3, the Circle Tower and First Enchanter, or what's his name?
Orsino.
And Knight Commander Meredith. you enter Act 3 and they are brawling in the streets, basically. They are like full screaming match at each other about how incompetent the other one is. I walk in, I tell Knight Commander Meredith to swivel on it and get the fuck out. Stop being such a heinous bitch. And then she rolls her eyes and then leaves. Romancing Anders, there's a moment, I went home and there was a moment when he, it's like he's now hanging out in my house. And we talk, and I give him a key to my basement, because the basement in our house leads to Darktown, which we know because we did that in Act 1. Just in case the Templars come to grab him, he has an easy escape. And he's like, thank you, you don't know how much this means to me, blah, blah, blah. And then you kiss, and there's a lot of I love yous. His romance arc is consistently him being like, ugh, I'm gonna hurt you if we get too close, but I love you so much. And he keeps like he keeps thanking you for being there for him. And then it's strange because his companion quest, it's an interesting romance because he keeps he doesn't call you Hawk anymore. He just calls you my love every single time that you talk to one another. Every like thing that he mentions, he says my love. But outside of that, I can't necessarily remember any big scenes, any big moments between the two of us, except for giving him a key to the downstairs. And then when he's like, oh, I need a key, he's like, no, he's on his companion mission. He says that he's found a way to separate him from justice.
Yes. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, shit, that's brilliant. And he's like, yeah, and then I can finally be me for you. And I was like, amazing. He's like, we need to find these items. You find all those items. And then he's like, okay, I need to do something in the Chantry. Can you talk to... can you talk to, the Reverend Mother there? I'm like, okay, sure. You just want me to talk to her? It's like, yeah, just talk. Don't mention me, and we will figure. And then I'll say when I'm done. I just have something to do. Please don't talk about it. I can't tell you. Please don't. I'm like, okay, sure. Yeah. I do it. So. This is a very side note that I am quite excited to talk about later. You don't like Sebastian at all, right? Did you finish his companion quests?
No, not even a little bit, no.
I have done a bit of a 180 on him. Act 1, I really liked him because I thought he was interesting. Act 2, I was pretty mad and thought he was average. Act 3, I think he fills a fundamental missing component of the party. And I think truly... He may walk away as one of my more favorite companions of them, because I find I'm actually, you know what? I'm gonna start talking about it now. So
okay, go for it. Let's get it.
We have mage loving above all mages will do, as we see later, very, very drastic things to have mages be free. Of Anders, we have elven blood mage, wants to like do all this stuff and is like a mage but is doing some dark things, so Anders doesn't like that, which is very interesting in Merrill. You've got Varric, who's like your best friend, will stick with you through thick and thin, and doesn't like taking sides, is very like, we should just look after ourselves, actually, in Varric. You have Isabella, who's just for herself and like a cool pirate lady. Fills out like that kind of like Antivan like area, which I think is fun. You've got hating mages but still being oppressed from Tevinter in Fenris. You have Bethany or Carver, who is like, Ferelden, either Grey Warden or filling in for the Circle. You have Order, type guard in Avalon.
Aveline, yeah.
And then there is this kind of like nebulous hole that hasn't been filled of a hard chantry loving person. And that is Sebastian. In his own story,
yeah,
and because I brought him along a lot, he fills such a fundamental role in how does the chantry feel about all the things you're doing, and just like the party in general. Because I had Sebastian on my team, as I did Anders's companion mission, and Sebastian leaves. He refuses to be part of it. He says, I'm not going to help you trick the Reverend Mother. I don't care what it's for. I'm not going to be a part of it. And then leaves your party. And then you speak to her, and then he'll rejoin afterwards and then has things to say. And I'm like, that. And then that moment instantly was like, that's great, actually. That's great. It made me realize, like, oh, this is a party dynamic that we're missing, that we had with Liliana.
Right.
That we had with Liliana. And then it's like, you get it a little bit with Alistair, but Alistair doesn't really like the Chantry. He's more that Templar role. And he's mainly the Grey Warden. He's not really anything to do with the Chantry, but, he still has thoughts about it.
He has complicated feelings about the Chantry and the Templars,
But Sebastian fills in that role in a way that later on I don't think his story is great, but I do think his story is interesting. I think aesthetically his character looks really good. But I think he does fill in like a fundamentally like missing part of the puzzle. In a way that makes me I really, really like him.
That's cool.
Anyway, Anders asks you to distract, and then you do, which is great. And he's like, "Thank you," and you're like, "Is that it?" And he's like, "Yes," and you're like, "Okay." And then you go back, and then he doesn't really talk to you about the fact that he said that he's trying to separate justice and himself, and doesn't really do that. He has a lot to say in this arc. I brought him along a lot, but in terms of like romance, you kind of are just romancing him until the very final act, when it kind of comes in more. Not the final act, sorry, we're in the final act. I mean, the very final like moments.
Yes, in the
then
final.
He brings it up a lot, and it's like it's more of a moment than it is for the rest. So I think they don't do a lot of Anders romance in the act, because in the final mission they do a lot of Anders romance. You are getting a
lot of attention on it. That's
on the fact that you're romancing him.
Yeah.
Tell me about Fenris.
God, he's so beautiful. He's so perfect. So he goes off and broods after we sleep together, and then we apparently don't talk about it for 3 years. We don't sleep together for 3 years. We are just still fighting together, still traveling together, still friends. And then we kill Daenerys, that motherfucker. We kill him dead in the street. And after we kill Daenerys, who is, if you've forgotten, that is the Fenris's the person who enslaved him, and who put the markings on him. When you talk to Fenris afterwards, and he brings up, he's like, look, 3 years ago when we slept together, I didn't know how to act, because he kind of reveals to you that like these markings hurt, and they remind him of like what had been done to him. And he outright is like, but I don't want that to hold me back anymore. And I thought that, just killing him would be enough, but I actually need to figure out what I want from life. and do something that makes me happy. My sister's gone, and the person that wronged me is gone, and all that is left is you, basically, and
Yeah.
you're the person that I want, and it's stellar. It's so heartbreaking, it's awful, it's devastating, it's wretched, and I love it. It's a beautiful, it's just like a beautiful thing, especially like I actually think that loving him as a purple hawk works so well because he is so resistant to genuine emotion, that just being like hitting him with those like sarcastic remarks and then letting him kind of open up when he's ready. I don't know. It's just so good. I love him. I think he's perfect in every way. And then you wind up later on then piecing together like bits of his past. Like, so he was in Tevinter and he lived there for a lot of it, like most of his like life, even though it was not a good life. It's the home that he had. And so you wind up like piecing together this sword from Tevinter that denotes like a position of honor, and it's something that in Tevinter he would never have actually gotten, but because he's not there and he's with you, like you kind of gift this to him, and that's like a huge deal, because that is like the culture that he feels at home with, but that would not accept him because he's an elf and also, like a refugee criminal, etc.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And so that's amazing. And then, yeah, and I guess I'll leave the last part till we get to it, because there's a last little bit there that's frightening, terrified me in this playthrough.
Ooh.
Yeah. So we also, I want to like check in on, because this is like, this act has a lot of companion quests. There's just like more companion quests than there are in other things.
Yeah.
In other acts. But Meryl comes to talk to you about the Alluvian as well.
Yes.
And is like, it's not working. And you're like, what do you mean it's not working? What is it supposed to do, Meryl? She's like, it's not working. I can't do it. And so she sends you to Sundermount again to go and speak to the keeper, Marithari, who like was back in Act 1, was like, Meryl, don't. Like, you can't.
Yeah, please don't
like,
do
like,
this.
don't do this. But you come there and you're like, hey, Meryl. Hey,
well, she was also like this
Meryl.
in Act 2. You go back in Act 2 and then it's like, yeah, I have the thing that you want. I don't want to give it to you, though, because it's bad.
Yeah.
And then you have to convince them to give it to you.
But we do. And now it's Act 3. And now it's time. And we go there and we go to Sundermount. Keeper Marithari is like, greets Meryl, but is like very standoffish. Wants you to convince Meryl not to do this. Not to go up there. Because
I actually don't think I spoke to the keeper on my way in. I just kind of, because Meryl was like, it's at the top of Sundermount. It's in this place. And I was like, okay.
Oh, interesting.
And then, so I just walked past everyone and went up to the top of Sundermount.
Because it is a demon that she wants help from.
Yeah.
In order to fix the
it's the demon that
and make
originally started convincing her to do it in the first place. Yeah, you climb all the way to the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
And there's a big old weird idol. And Meryl's like, it should be here, but it's not here. And the keeper walks in and is like, yes, I've put the demon in me, so it can't get out without me dying. And I was like, all right, so be it. Big old fight. And then she's like, I'm free. You've slain the demon. Thank you so much for helping me. I'm now free of it. And you're like, wait a second. But you said that it wouldn't be free unless you died. She's like, yeah, I'm still the demon. And then Meryl stabs her.
Meryl stabs her.
And then the demon is officially dead. The demon is dead. Because I didn't help it. I just killed it. Did you also kill it and not help it?
I did. I was thinking about not helping it and like going a different path, but I kind of thought you wouldn't. I kind of assumed you wouldn't.
No.
No. Yeah.
No, I killed her.
Yeah.
I killed her, therefore the demon. Yeah. I stepped outside, and then a bunch of the Dalish elves turned up, and they were like, hey, where the fuck is the keeper? And I was like, yeah, Meryl killed her because she had to, because she had a demon inside of her. And they were like, oh, fuck. So then they all turned on me. And then it is a fight where I had to kill every single person in the Dalish camp that we've been to this whole game. You're going to this same area and they have traders and all this, and I had to slaughter all of them to get out. And Meryl is freaking out the whole time because these are the people that raised her, and you're going through and they're all trying to kill her specifically. And you have to go through and kill everyone. And then, and Meryl's freaking out and she's all weepy. And I'm like, yeah, well, this is what happens, dude, when you do bad demon shit. So lesson learned, I guess. We've added another 20 to our incredible KD ratio that we have going on in Kirkwall.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable kill ratio.
Yeah.
Her whole entire homeland.
Everything. You decimate all dead. Of it. You have to, because they try to kill you. There are ways to get around it and have them not kill her. Or convincing her to not do any of this.
Right. Yeah.
But I didn't do it.
No.
I just went through it because my Hulk doesn't like Meryl that much. Which is unfortunately fucked me over because that means that I didn't have 100% friendship or rivalry, so I don't get the capstone of her quest because you only get the capstone ending if you have 100% either friendship or rivalry. But I'm pretty neutral because I don't have her in my party a lot. That being said, she is my biggest damage dealer. So there's a fight coming up that happens in the last mission that I think is so ludicrously difficult that it took me a solid half an hour to do. And the only way I could do it is by reloading a save from 40 minutes ago, going through all of that again and then changing my party because at that point it was too late to change party, and putting Meryl in it because I had three specific there's two teams that I normally bring along. Now that I've settled into who my party comp is, it's if I want to have a good time, it's Isabella, Varric, Anders. Anders is a good healer, but he's also a mage. Varric is my good time boy. Isabella hits so hard constantly. She's so good at what she does. However, she has health that is about 3 apples tall and dies within seconds.
Love how often 3 apples tall is coming up in our lives.
I say it recently. Too much now. It's Love really it. It's really ingrained Love in my brain. And but the problem with Varric is that he also has baby pissy health and doesn't do either damage. It doesn't do any of that. So I'm like, so I had to switch Varric out for Meryl because Meryl goes absolutely apeshit. She's so strong.
Meryl's the best, yeah.
Yeah, so I do bring her along for those for like if I'm having particular trouble with one fight, she's my gal. But aside from that, I don't really like my hawk. I like her. My hawk doesn't like her.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the Orsino Meredith scenario a little bit more and how we wind up. I think I would like to talk about how we wind up in like the culmination of the finale of this game, like what is going on between because the mages and the templars, the contention is so like the Canary threat is past, and so now it is for the last 3 years just building this tension between the mages and the templars, and there are allegations of massive corruption from Knight Commander Meredith.
Well, there's also Knight Commander Meredith being like, yes, but half of the mages circle are blood mages now.
Right.
And they are doing a lot of very bad stuff. Do you want proof? Go to these 4 people who have escaped. All of them are blood mages. And you go, oh no, it's 3 people who have escaped and all of them are blood mages. And you go and 2 of the 3 of them are blood mages now. And you're like, oh, fuck's sake. Fuck, she's right in this case.
She's right. And of course, they're blood mages and they're doing evil shit. So they're not just blood mages hanging out. Like,
yeah, because Meryl is also a blood mage and they're not just live, laugh, loving. They're doing actual evil, shit.
Yeah.
One of them is doing heinous evil shit. I can't remember which the other one was doing. One sec. The 3 people are Elsa. Oh, no. Elsa is Knight Commander Meredith's assistant, who is a tranquil mage. There is Emil, Juan, and Evelyn. Yes. You go. You Knight Commander Meredith is like, go find these 3. Bring them back to the circle or deal with them however you see fit. And when you question that, she's like, well, I want them fucking dead. I want them dead. I wish them to die. But she says it in a very political manner. You go. Emil is... she was from Ferelden and helped... And after escaping after the circle tower fell, or after escaping the circle tower, I can't remember which one it is, she helps so many people get out of the Blight's way. She went town to town rescuing people, picking them up and helping them leave. However, then gets possessed by an abomination, right? And there are these 2 little lads who they're like supposed to be children, but one of them has the face model of a 35-year-old man. You help them, and then they help you find her because you're like, I'm here to help her, and then they're like, okay, and then she kind of goes all freaky weird on them, and they're like, that's not who she is, and then you fight and you kill her, and she's using some minor blood magic. Then you go to Juan, who is a good dude. I can't remember necessarily. Oh, no, you don't. My apologies. Sorry. Evelyn, or I think Evelyn is the one who goes evil, who's helping everyone. Emil is my writing is so small. He's a good guy. I can't necessarily remember what happens with him, but he is not bad. So I helped him fully escape. I think he ended up... I told him to go to Vinter and just get the fuck out of Kirkwall in general. So then he runs away. And then there's Juan, who you speak to his wife, and she's like, yeah, we've been married for 10 years, but he was also taken to the major circle like 9 years ago. And he recently came back, and he has changed so much. I'm a little scared. He's coming here at nighttime. And you're like, okay. And you meet her at night, and then he turns up, and he's all like blood magic, freaky, kills her, and then summons a bunch of demons. And you have to kill him in the middle of the street. And then you go back to Meredith, and she's like, so, how was it? And you're like, well, you were mostly right, I guess. One person is a blood mage. Two of them were blood mages. One of them was an abomination. I let one go, though. Bleh, bleh. She's like, oh, wow, prove me wrong, I guess. Actually, I told her, I said that I killed all three of them, but Fenris was next to me, and Fenris was like, no, actually, she's lying. She killed two of them. She let one escape, and then said, oh, she actually let this guy escape. And then Knight Commander Meredith is like, oh, cool. Okay, thank you for that. I'm going to send someone to go kill her, to go kill that guy.
Yeah, I did not bring Fenris with me for that.
I thought he was chiller. I thought he would like, he would.
He
anyway hates mages, which I'll be honest, I forgot that politics in this game matter so much to companions, and they will like bring shit up, and like they will force decisions. They'll essentially like force a decision to be wrong exclusively because you're bringing them along. And it's like, you can do something, you can lie to someone, as I did, and then you can have one of the companions that don't agree with you be like, actually, no, they're lying. I don't know why they said that. And then that's part of the reason why this game is the best.
Frankly, yeah, exactly. I wish that the other games did incorporate that, even though it makes me so stressed and makes my life so hard. But I do love that.
We'll get into this a little bit later when we've fully like wrapped up all of the things. This is why this game annoys me so much, because no game does this. Not a single like role-playing game of like, does a thing where the people who are in your party and in the same room interrupt you lying to say, she's lying. I don't know why she's saying that. Just because you're bringing people along with like different politics to yours
that hate what you're saying. Yeah,
exactly. And it's like, it's the thing where it's like, this game, your party dynamic, the party that you're bringing along isn't like I have a tank, I have 2 DPS, and I have a healer. It's, all right, I'm doing a mage-based mission, so I have my mage sympathizers with me, so we're all going to go together. Or it's like, I'm doing this mission with this, so this person agrees with this politics, and you are neutral on most matters, so you can come with me, and you don't really care about this specific thing, so come with me. It's like you have to think about your party
people
comp.
Actually care about. Yeah,
exactly. You have to care about your party comp in social settings.
Yeah,
that's just so good.
Bonkers.
Yum. Love it.
And it's yummy. And if this were a game that were given like the amount of time that other games were given, oh my God, that would be such a hot dynamic.
Yeah,
it would be
it's
so
awesome.
good.
And I think the reason why other games nowadays don't do this is because this game was made in 18 months. And they focused 100% on the story, and the mechanics suck. So it's so hard to like, because it's unpopular. I think the people who are like, oh, it's, we need to make a new Dragon Age game. What should we do? Well, this game wasn't popular, so let's ignore what we did there.
So we'll never do anything that was part of that ever again.
That's the best bit of the game, though.
Even though that was the successful part, was that. Okay, I need us to Meredith and Orsino. Act 3.
Okay, are we just jumping to the final mission?
I need us to. All right, so here's why I want us to jump to that, because I think that everything else is companion based, and we'll get to it by talking about it. And then also, we have so many good questions about the overall of this game that all tie in to the Meredith Orsino finale. All
right. So you have that one Knight Commander Meredith mission. Then you have an Orsino mission where he's like, hey, there's these things happening. Can you go check it out? And then it's also, shit, there's a lot of Blood Mage stuff going on, buddy. And then he's like, oh, piss.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
I wish that wasn't happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you go home. Oh, and then there's kind of a confrontation where you are asked, who do you support in this like political thing? Do you support the woman who is like a super hard ass that is actively like oppressing mages and doing it harshly, is saying like, you know, she's now into the tranquil solution that we talked about in Act 2. She's like, yeah, tranquil all of them because then they're useful items. Or are you going to go with the leader of the Circle Tower who has no grasp on his people at all, is like so many of his people are becoming blood mages, and
Orsino, but he's very weak. So
he's a weak leader.
He's his cause, when you hear him talk about what the mages are going through and his beliefs on it, is so sympathetic, but he has no control over anything, and he has no power, no,
because it's like
nothing.
Yeah, he's the leader, he's the first enchanter of the mages, but the mages are still run by the Chantry and
anyone who's not any mages who are not run by the Chantry have left the circle by default, and so they are not under him either. So like
he has he's arguing with his boss. Like, exactly. He has nothing. He's really not even his boss. He's arguing with his own prison warden and asking people to rally behind him. And
that's it. Yeah.
Obviously, why would anyone follow you? You're also in here with us.
Right.
Yeah, it's like you're the first enchanter because you were a good little mage boy and you listened to the Chantry. Like,
exactly. He has no. He really at this point has no power.
Yeah. It's like, he has the most. Anders doesn't like him, and because Anders keeps being like, "Yeah, but you're part of the problem because you run a circle, which is a prison." So it's like you're a Templar who can cast magic. You're not part of the solution here. Anyway, you're asked to who you side with. Just in like a conversationally, you're asked who you side with. So I sided with Orsino because I'm dating Anders, and Knight Commander Meredith is clearly going feral, and I don't think Orsino is good, but he's not trying to tranquil my sister. So I mean, I guess that's a win. You get home. I imagine you did the same.
Yeah, in that part.
You get home, you get a letter from whoever you support who is like, hey, I need you now, tonight, because shit is happening.
Yeah.
Tensions are bubbling to the point where it's like, the final mission is called The Last Straw, because everything is going to break tonight. You go to the place. You go to the gallows. Knight Commander Meredith, First Enchanter Orsino are screaming at each other in the middle of the square, fully like one of them is going to kill the other one in this, like just in this confrontation. They're just full yelling at each other. Mm-hmm. I walked in and started redding everywhere. I was also screaming. I was escalating constantly.
You were. Oh, I went. This is like one of the first times I ever went completely blue. Like everything, like I guess similarly, but like opposite, trying to de-escalate everyone. Yeah, no jokes, no no humor, just like no. That's this is not happening. We need to calm down. Yeah.
Wow, I love that. Yeah, full screaming, and then whilst everyone is yelling. Now, I'm going to admit, I did do this a couple hours ago. I didn't write a huge amount of notes. I am also so shattered because I was up till 4 a.m. doing this, and then I woke up at 7 a.m. to continue playing. So
sorry.
When I started doing this, is like I didn't catch all the details. But as they're yelling, First Generosino is like, well, we'll just put them back in the circle towers. And that's, that's how we're going to be fine. And like Commander Meredith is like, your people are blood mages leaving the towers. How is that working? We need to tranquil everyone. We need to round up all of the mages, and they're all screaming at each other. And then Anders butts in and is like, that's not going to work. Rounding everyone up is obviously a monstrous thing to do. Fuck you, I hate you. And putting people in towers isn't going to work. We cannot compromise here. It is one or the other, and I'm obviously going to stand with the mages. And then it turns out the reason why he asks you to go distract the Grand Cleric is because he was doing a sneaky little thing. And then he blows up the Chantry. He terrorism bombs the Chantry with shit
Chantry
that he's hidden in. he hid with the items that you got because he lied to you about the fact that he's going to separate himself from justice.
Which, is it not also? It is, if I'm not mistaken, it is Gatlock.
I don't know. It might be. I mean, it felt bigger because of the orbital lasers that he apparently seemingly summoned from space to annihilate. It is such a devastating explosion that the color of the sky is changed over Kirkwall for the entire last
bit of the
2 hours of game, which is, in game 8 hours. He bombs the Chantry. It's fucking crazy. Knight Commander Meredith, First Enchanter is like, what the fuck was that? What did you do? And then Knight Commander Meredith is like, cool, I'm gonna actually put in the rite of, what is it? It's the rite of something.
Conscription?
It's not the rite of conscription, because that's a Grey Warden thing. She evokes
the thing where we encountered in Origins, where they're allowed to kill every mage and destroy the whole circle
that
tower.
And it's like every single Templar go through the streets and slaughter every single mage that you find.
Yeah.
And then she fucking bounces.
The rite of annihilation.
The rite of annihilation. Delicious. This is also fun. Now, this is where I really like Sebastian. Because in Sebastian,
it's called the rite of annulment. The rite of annulment. Yeah.
What's the rite?
Sorry.
Is there a rite of annihilation?
No, I think I just made that up.
That's awesome, though. That's awesome. That's cool. You should add that into lore somewhere. Rite of annulment. This is where Sebastian being around you is really interesting, because his quest is he is trying to make this really hard decision of if he goes back to Starkhaven to be the prince and rule Starkhaven, or if he should stay in the Chantry. And if he stays in the Chantry, you find... Oh, there's also a thing of you find an assassination plot for the Reverend Mother, whose name I'm forgetting. It doesn't matter, but it
does, and I will remember it.
Grand Cleric Elthina. Grand Cleric Elthina. He's pleading with her because he finds an assassination plot because the Divine is going to send a bunch of people to Kirkwall to slaughter everyone because tensions are too high in Kirkwall, and Kirkwall fucking sucks. So
yeah,
and then he's like, "Hey, Grand Cleric, please try to convince her to leave or go yourself." And she's like, "No, I'm not gonna. No, I'm not gonna do that because this is my city. I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna figure it out." Then, in his personal mission, there's an assassin called Sister Nightingale who is kind of giving you all this information, and you're sneaking around, and then you usurp this plot, and then you find out Sister Nightingale is Liliana, and Liliana is helping you for a bit, and she's like, "Oh, hello. Oh no, it's the Grand Cleric. We must deceive her." That's my Liliana impression.
It's uncanny, actually.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep. And then, and anyway, he's pleading. So when the Chantry blows up, because she turns to ash. This is a full Cersei Lannister at the the Sept explosion, with the same amount of death toll, and he is like screaming, and then gets up and is like, "I want Anders to die right now. Right now, I'm gonna kill him." And then you have to try to convince your party to either be like, "You're right, this guy did a crazy thing, and let's fucking kill him," or be like, no, let's have him talk for a bit. We can't kill him. He's one of our team.
I put Anders out. I killed him. It was like he asked me to. In the conversation we had, he was like, "No, I know what I did was wrong. I know that but I don't regret it."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, you understand that I have to kill you."
Yeah.
And it was honestly like we did not have a super strong relationship by the end of this game, but it was strong enough for us to have like a kind of understanding at the end where he was like, "Yeah, no, I understand that what I've done means that I'm gonna die. Like I get that."
And then
yeah.
No, it's Florence's thing of, no, we have to protect our own was really strained here. Because she was like, "Hey dude, what the fuck was that? Like, you just bombed a whole place." And he was like, "Yeah, I know, it sucks. I don't expect you to forgive me, blah blah blah." Sebastian is like, "If you don't kill him now, I won't win a fight against you. I know that. So I'm going to go to Starkhaven. I'm going to bring an army to Kirkwall, and I'm going to kill him myself. Like, I'm going to storm Kirkwall with the Starkhaven soldiers." And I was like, "Do it, dude, because I'm not killing him." So then Sebastian left the party permanently.
Good for you.
Because he's leaving. But I tell you what, his whole shit in these final moments in this last act, I think Sebastian's a fucking awesome character. He truly is like a perfect, like he needs to fill that role of someone, because it's also, as the Templars and the mages separate in the horror of the situation that's just happened, your whole party kind of makes a decision to go one way or the other. So Fenris left my party because Fenris is like, "I ain't siding with the fucking mages. I'm going with the Templars." And then he leaves to go with the Templars. Then Sebastian leaves the party because of the decision. Isabella and Varric are like, "I don't give a shit, dude. I don't care about this fucking war. I don't know why I'm here." Meryl is like, "I'm siding with the mages, obviously." Anders is like, "Obviously, I'm with the mages." Surprisingly, Evelyn also sides with the mages because she's like, "The Templars are crazy, and I'm not being with them. I'm staying with Order, and they are
and this
fascism."
is out of order.
Yeah,
which I love. I think that's great. I think that Aveline is a fantastic character that I think that the Dragon Age series needs to emulate, like as a whole, like her loving the Order, loving the Templars, but like her complication with that actually leading to her changing her opinions on things. Beautiful ending.
Also,
I love that.
It's a huge, from the fact that she was married to a Templar, and the first thing you see with her is her husband being like, "Oh, there's a mage there. I'm going to bring you to the tower." And she's like, "We're going to have to take you to a tower because blah blah." And she's like, very like, "Yeah, that's like, just how it has to be." Yeah. To the end of the game where she's like, "I'm not siding with the Templars. This is crazy. What you're doing."
Because outside of when she said, because it's outside of, she means what she says when she says that she wants order, which is like 9 times out of 10 someone tells you that they want and value order. That's a bad thing. They want
to like
they want
rule.
oppression, they want quiet, and they want people that they don't like to be silenced. Aveline means it. She wants order. She wants
people to be calm and talk about shit.
She wants order, and she actually means that. And there's a follow through there, and I love that. Yeah,
because it's like when you're asking everyone, like, because this is great. This is why I think this party dynamic is still the best in a video game that I've played so far, is because it goes through every single character and each of them makes a decision on these two sides on what, like, where they're going to go. Are they going to go with Temple as a thing? And then, you know, they say their bit and then they either leave or stay, depending on what your decision was. Fenris leaves, Anders stays. But when Aveline was like, oh, I want order, I was like, fuck, come on, Aveline, I can't kill you, dude. Like, that sucks. But then she stays, and then I'm like, you said you wanted order. She's like, yeah, that's not order. Like that's not order. The mages aren't order either, but the mages are being oppressed. We're gonna stop this. I'm sticking with you,
and then
we will figure it out.
Then we'll figure it out. Yeah.
And I tell you what, man, she was bottom tier Act 1. Didn't like her at all. She's right up there. She's right up there now. She's one of the fucking best. I find it abhorrent that she is not talked about constantly.
She should be. It's only truly it's only because she's tough she's tough to win over if you are not committed to playing the game like well, because most people who play the game play a default like pro mage, which I agree with, but it makes making friends with her tough. And she's not romanceable, so you don't get the extra boosts from romancing
from the romance
so
scenes.
You've gotta try a little bit to get her on your
it's
side.
Also grand because so everyone in the team is a friend. Like, they are all friends and they hang out together. Even fucking, like, there's scenes where you catch Fenris and Anders hanging out casually.
Yeah.
But Aveline doesn't do that. She's the friend who is a friend of your friend. Who has a full-time job and never comes.
She's the cop friend, and she's like, oh, you're still all hanging out together? Okay, yeah, I have taxes, but okay.
I wouldn't even call her a cop friend. Like, yes, that's her role in this game, but she's the businesswoman who is like a corporate full-time job lady who's like, I'm
she's
busy,
like,
dude. I
have you all done your taxes? No.
You've got 3 months. Are you sure you can do it in that time? It's like, yeah, I've got 3 months to do them. Thank you. I think I'll be fine. She's like, okay.
Yeah, and have you done them? Oh, no, that's for this year. Last year? Did you do them last year? No? Yeah. That's
what are you doing tonight? I'm just going to the Hanged Man with Varric. Again?
Yeah,
Did you do that last week? I do it every week, dude. It's my weekend. It's like, yeah, it's just, you know. I just feel like you should get something else to do with your time rather than going and hanging out and drinking with your friends. You're like, Aveline, come on, dude. That's crazy. That's
what
who
if
Aveline
you
is.
Came out and drank with your friends? What if you did that?
I can't. Sorry, I got married. I got married 3 years ago. It's like, okay.
Yeah, because
we
made you go out drinking, Aveline. We forced you to go out drinking, and that is why you are now married. Do you not see the trajectory?
Hang out with your friends. We're all asking you to come hang out with us.
We're all asking you to.
All right.
It makes sense.
Huge fan of her. She's the best. Anyway,
so I did get. So this was a thing I was really worried about because it's been a while, admittedly, since I played this game. At the start of Act 3, I was in a middling place, like I said.
Mm-hmm.
And I have had it happen before where I was romancing Fenris, and when the final battle came, because I was backing the mages, he left.
Mm.
And our romance was over.
Mm.
So I was pretty nervous that would happen again, but it didn't. I talked to him at the final battle, and we were gonna go, and he said basically, like, I cannot believe that I am here right now. You lead me to such strange places.
Mm.
I cannot believe that I am about to fight and lay my life down for mages. Would never have pictured that. It was awesome. It was unbelievable. It was great. Felt very epic. And Sveric, I didn't have Sebastian. Aveline was on my side. Fenris was on my side. Bethany was on my side, obviously, for mage reasons. Meryl was on my side for mage reasons. I don't have Isabella. Yeah. So
Love it.
Fun. So I got a limited group, but we are a passionate group.
Yeah.
We head down after the oh, and I don't have Anders anymore because I kill him. I slit his throat after after he looped the chantry. So that's it. So
yeah.
The rite of annulment has been announced for every mage in Kirkwall's circle, and so we are defending that against Meredith's army, who are now all through the streets of Kirkwall. So this is like, we are making our way through Kirkwall, all the places that we've explored through this game. We're going through like Lowtown and the docks and like all these places and fighting our way kind of through it all. And occasionally mages do go and
they're doing a lot of blood magic.
And they occasionally turn into demons.
Yep.
And it's like, oh God. What?
And then you come across, I'm going to say it, the worst fight in the game. The worst fight in the series. The hardest, most bullshit fucking fight, where you fight one blood mage, one giant demon, and about 200,000 shades. Yeah. That is fucking impossible. It took me about 40 minutes. I died so many times. I reloaded a save from ages before I accepted the mission. And then instead of taking Varric with me, who doesn't do a lot of damage, I took Meryl, and then we beat it first time, but not without everyone bar Isabella dying. It's a stupid fight. So ridiculous. It's hard because of pure numbers, and it's just a war of attrition. It's like... It's like, yeah, I can kill 50 shades, and yeah, I can kill this one blood mage, but then there's also this guy who's doing an AoE effect, and he takes up so much damage, and then it's like, there's a cooldown on potions. I can't just glug potions when I'm feeling sick, and fucking hated that fight. I was so angry with it. I got a little notification. I died so many times. It was like, hey, do you want to lower the difficulty? And I was like, you motherfucker, you know I'm playing on easy. How dare you ask me to do that? Stupid fucking game. I got so pissed. And
I've
then I switched to
never seen
Meryl,
that
and then
before.
Meryl just cleaned the fight.
Yeah.
Because Varric just doesn't do any damage, and he has no health in my run because I don't like attributes. I think attributes are too micromanagey for me, so I always auto level attributes. I pick an ability and then I auto level, and I think in doing that, he does something really well, but has no health. So.
Oh, Varric is like a heavy damage dealer for me. He's still pretty like squishy,
Yeah.
but he's like
he might be big damage. He just goes down to he's like
big damage, and
he's
also
a very good
have
single
him
target damage.
Yeah, and I have him to like set to stay far away, so he like runs away from any enemies. But
yeah, they just didn't work for me. But then Meryl. Just clean.
Yeah,
she just cleans house.
Meryl is she's a
blood
demon.
mage.
She
has a whole mode where she just does more damage. But it's like cutting herself at the time when she's doing it.
Yeah,
and she's the best.
Oh god, she's so sick.
Yeah, she's
love
fucking
it.
awesome.
Yeah.
Isabella again is so strong. I'm like doing like kind of piddly little piss damage, and I'm hitting, and I have a bunch of people around me, and then she literally teleports behind the enemy, Shadow the Hedgehog ass, nothing personal, kid, and then executes them, removes all of their health in one single move, because she's doing like, it's like, oh, are you engaged with another target? 200% extra damage. Oh, are you stunned? 400% extra damage. And then she's just annihilating people. She's the best. You then get to the gallows. Yeah. And then you find First Enchanter Orsino. And he's like, he is freaking out. He's quaking in his little boots. He's like, we're not going to survive this. This is a failure. Like, we're all going to die here. And I'm like, hey, buddy, lock in for me, dude, because we are going to die. People need them. Your mages, your circle who are here need someone to rally behind. Lock in.
And it doesn't matter.
It doesn't fucking matter. No.
Because he doesn't care. And so he because of that transforms himself using blood magic.
Yep.
And becomes,
and then you have to fight and kill him anyway.
A harvester. And
that's a fun fight though.
It is
pretty fun fight.
Oh, it's a great fight. It's a
pretty
great fight because it's it's Meredith, it's Templars, it's like your enemy is with you for a minute, and like it sucks. It doesn't make any narrative sense, and that's my
it's very out of nowhere. It's weird. So, okay, I think thematically it makes a little sense. But in terms of, this is why Knight Commander Meredith is so scared. Because everyone in his order is using blood magic. Everyone. Every single member of his circle knows some of it. Even him. And it's like a thing that if you were on her side, you look at that and you're like, fucking knew it. I knew it. I knew that he's a big evil demon. But also the fact that I sided with him and I'm like, hey, dude, there's a lot of people with you. And he's like,
yeah.
It kind of actually, you know what? I do think it makes sense. I think it makes sense because he is a weak leader. And like, he's not supposed to, he doesn't want to be here. He's not supposed to be here. He's not good at leading. He's just a guy who is also in the same kind of situation that all these mages are, which is he's super oppressed.
Yeah.
But he's the good little boy oppressed, where he, does everything that the Templars want and doing all this. And then right now it's like, hey, you need to use your magical prowess to save us. And he's like, I can't, but I've read about blood magic. So I'm going to do that. And then uses the bodies of dead mages to summon a thing. And and then you have to kill him because he's a fucking idiot and is weak. A bad leader. Now,
I like
is this
that.
right? Yeah.
I like that interpretation a lot.
I
Yeah.
agree with you. This is the devs were like, we need a big boss fight. So we're going to have the first enchanter become this big demon. Write how that makes sense. And then the writers were like, ugh. Okay, I guess.
We'll put a pin in that for literally next week.
Okay, fascinating.
When that comes up again.
You also do talk to every single member of your team because it's the big final fight.
Yeah.
Anders is like, hey, come with me. And I had the choice to be like, no, because you blew up a church, or be like, yeah, sure, let's be fugitives together. I questioned him consistently because I was like, I think I'm going to break up with him right now. I can't. Like, I think that Hawk is like, this is insane that you did this. And I'm going to be honest, I regret a little bit that I didn't break up with him. But I did anyway, because a thing with me and this game is because I there's several points in this game where I've wanted to break up with Anders because he's done something bad. But the thing is I know I was pretty sure that if I did break up with him, it would be like if I didn't romance him at all. But I wanted them to reference it in the next game. If that was like if you romanced Anders, this is a one line that they say.
For sure.
So I said yes. I'd run away with him. But in my canon, she said yes. And then after, because I was also like, she's very for her people and her team. Yeah. And like, that's all that matters. So she's like, okay, that was fucking crazy. Don't ever do that again. And then, was like, and then later down the line, she was like, this was actually a bit much. You killed a lot of people. So I am actually going to break up with you. But it's like, just because I wanted the reference of them romanced in the future to be an event. Because I know if I knew that in a future game they were like, yeah, they dated for a bit, but then they broke up because he blew up the chantry, I would be like, yeah, that sounds awesome. But I knew that wouldn't happen. So stay with him. Everyone has a line. Oh, you meet first commander and first enchanter. They are still yelling at each other, and then they do separate. I see Fenris again, and I'm like, hey, dude, after everything we've been through together, please don't do this. And then Fenris does look at Knight Commander Meredith and is like, I choose you over her. And then he does leave her and then join me later.
Excellent. Oh my God.
And so he does the same where he's like, and then I was talking to him and he was like, yeah, you've led me to really weird places. But he is like, I do choose you. I choose your friendship over her hatred. And then picks me anyway. And
sick.
I didn't get his Act 3 story. Because I didn't fucking do it. So I still got his like full friendship thing, which I thought was awesome. And we were full rivals at this point as well, but he still picked me.
Well, but that's what this game does. Like, if you have full rivalry or full friendship, you can still unlock things.
Wangle your way through stuff. Yeah.
It's the middle area where things are just tough to unlock. Yeah.
But he joined me. Everyone, he says the thing where he's like, oh, you've led me in very weird places, which I thought was very fun. Anders does a very cute line who says, maybe in 1 year, maybe in 10, maybe in 100, someone like me can be with someone like you and we won't be pulled apart by the Templars. And I was like, that's pretty cute. I like that line.
Cute. Yeah.
Because I sent you on TikTok a very, very good edit.
It's a good edit. It's a
fucking, for people who are listening, it's the edit that has the fucking, what is the song? Da 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 da. It's like it's a boy band song that's covered by a choir in Deadpool Wolverine. For people who know TikTok trends, you'd know that that's the song that I'm talking about. There's 100 million edits at the minute to that song. Go find it. Google it. choir song Deadpool and Wolverine, and you'll find it. Anyway, it's a Dragon Age thing, and that line is in it. I thought that was very sweet. Isabel has the funniest line to me where I'm like, hey, do you regret coming back? And she's like, I don't regret coming back, but come on, man. She's like, I don't know why I'm here, man. I don't care about this. This is crazy. I'm gonna die today, and I'm just whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm here to fight for you, but this is insane. And I'm like, yeah.
Love that. She did not come back. Obviously,
she did. Yeah, she didn't come back for you. Varric is like, I'm sick of mages and I'm sick of Templars. To be honest with you, it's like, he's very neutral as well. And then you pick your final team, who you're going to go do the whole shebang. Oh yeah, you pick your final team. Then the first enchanter does the demon stuff. But just like in Origins, everyone you didn't pick is still fighting with you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
So fucking sick. I love it. Who was your team? Final team?
Varric, Meryl, Fenris.
Love that.
Heavy. That's my
huge.
That's my best friends. That's my best friend, my partner, and the person that I would have dated if things went a little bit different in my life. That's my besties group. It's just like any old besties group.
Yeah. I had my best friend Isabella. I had my boyfriend Anders, and I had my sister Bethany. I brought Bethany with me. You fight your man. You then fight through more streets of Kirkwall, and then you come face to face with Knight Commander Meredith. She is flanked by Cullen, who has joined her this whole time. And then she starts screaming that everyone's a blood mage. And Cullen is like, hey, this is weird. And then she says that her sword she fashioned out of lyrium that a dwarf sold her, which is the red lyrium, which is Bartrand, which is like, oh, that's why she's going insane. It's because she has the red lyrium.
Lyrium is fucking talking to her.
Yeah. And making her go a little cuckoo banana pants. She claims Cullen is a blood mage, and then she claims every Templar with her is secretly a blood mage, and they're all conspiring against her. And I'm going to be honest. Knight Commander Meredith is fucking sick. This last boss fight, this is awesome. There is, hey, listen, a guy turns into a really big god thing. Sure, that's pretty cool. Last boss, just against one human person, that's the best shit in the world. She is like, she has a Final Fantasy Cloud Strife-ass sword, huge, the size of her whole body, that she's wielding in one arm, was like this red lyrium lightning is around her, and she's like doing anime-ass jumps hundreds of foot into the air, backflipping and then landing and then summoning shit with this weird red lyrium. She's praying to God the whole time. She's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
She's so cool. I really like her. I think she's really cool. I've actually, every interaction with her, I've been like, man, what a great villain. She's a great villain,
because she is so clearly evil. Like,
yeah.
From
like without the lyrium, she's evil.
Without the lyrium, she's evil.
It's crazy huge fight with Knight Commander Meredith. What were you talking about? Because we had a brief break, so I wanted to, because you said you were talking about something, and then you said, actually, can we have a 5-minute break? My God, the conversation was in the piss. You got rid of it all.
I did. I pissed it out. I was talking about God. I don't know.
That's okay. That's all right. I love you.
Thank you.
Say it back, you fucking bitch.
I love you.
Thank you. She's a great villain. That's what we were talking about. She's a great villain because she's an evil woman, and she was evil before the lyrium.
Right. That's what we were talking about. She's evil beforehand. And then that's what I was going to say, is that it's just like Varric's brother, Bartrand. He is he is
It exacerbates
transformed by
traits.
the red lyrium into something more evil than what he was, but Varric well establishes that he was a prick bastard and a selfish, like money hungry, like asshole beforehand. It's just that the red lyrium, like it exasperated those traits in
exacerbates
him.
some of your worst traits,
Yeah.
which in companion missions, you do Varric's companion mission, there is because he's like, hey, I'm trying to sell Bartran's house.
Yep. Oh, that's right.
And I
Yes.
have sold it to someone who, didn't like. No one here is interested because there was a lot of murder in that house. But this one person, sight unseen, decided to buy it, and you're like, well, that's crazy that people are just willing to just buy that. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I left out the part that there was a lot of murder in the house. Also, they're saying that it's super haunted. For fuck's sake.
And
okay.
you go there and it's so haunted.
So haunted. Shit is floating.
Flying,
there's like
floating.
specters. Doors are opening and slamming in your face. Yeah, super, super haunted. Then you find a shard of red lyrium that's still there. And
this
then
is
Varric starts going a little mad.
A little bit. And this is actually the little thing that I thought in back when we were playing Origins, I thought that you would really like that quest. I had like I had commented on it and said that, oh, there's a thing that I think you'll really like in Dragon Age 2. And
is it just like the haunted bit or like the red lyrium bit that you thought I would like? Because I do really, I thought this was a great quest.
Yeah, both. But the haunted bit and the red lyrium, yeah, I thought that you would really like it.
I thought the haunted was really good.
And so I had made a comment about it in like a Origins episode.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm gonna have to go back and listen. I imagine it was the Osimar one if we were talking about lyrium.
Yeah.
Sick. I'll go back and I'll watch that. I really do, and I like. I really like Varric going a little Busby feral because he doesn't go super evil, but he starts talking about weird shit. And you can be like, all right, you can hold on to this piece of lyrium, but, be careful. Or you can be like, no, give it to me right now. Destroy it! Cast it into the fires! And I did. I did tell him to destroy it. Because I was like, Varric, drop it, dude.
I let him hold it. Let him keep it.
That's insane.
I know.
Holy shit. So what's wrong with you is really the main bit.
I trust my buddy Varric. He was like, no, I can study this. It's going to be fine.
Oh, wild.
And I was like,
he gives it to me to give to Sandal to turn into an enchantment. And he does. He gives me a little rune. And I was like, enchantment. And he gives me a rune. That's fine. But I was like, neat. So I technically have red lyrium, but
you do. You've got it. But it's been handled by Sandal. So you're fine.
It's like there's no lyrium left in it. It's a fucking rune now. But yeah. No, I told Varric to drop it because my friend is being possessed, and that won't fly for me. That's not looking out.
I just told Varric to get his shit together, and then he did. And I was like, you can hold on to this as long as you fucking pull it together.
Damn. Yeah.
And he did.
Speaking of companion quests, Isabella.
Aw, tell me. I got nothing.
You find her again. She's at the hangman, and she's like, why the fuck did I give you the book back? He's like, that was stupid. And you're like, because friendship and it's good. And she's like, yeah, but I could have been free. I could be like, doing all this shit. I'm still being hunted. And you're like, all right, you're still being hunted. Let's just find the guy then. She's like, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's get him. Tell you what we can do. I know someone who wants my bounty. You're going to pretend to have taken me in.
Yeah.
And then as they are taking me to Castilian, I'm going to leave a trail for you to follow. we're going to bust in and we're going to knock some heads. I'm like, hell yeah, babe. That sounds great. Just before you go into the room, she's like, all right, be real about it. Don't pussyfoot around it. I want you to like do me in. Do some of your best acting. And I was like, hell yeah, let's do it. I'm going to be super violent. And she's like, okay, okay. She gets a little saucy about it. You bust in, you do a little fight. Then she's like grabbed and dragged away. And then you're like following this trail that she's left.
Right.
You go all the way to these pirate slavers, bust in, kill a bunch of them. Castellian appears, and because she's this whole time is like, well, I'm gonna fucking kill him, obviously, because then I'm free. And then she's like, cool, dead men tell no tales, so I actually don't want to kill you, but you're gonna hand over your ship and everything you own to me, and I'll let you live. How about that? And I'm like, he's a slaver, though. You don't want to kill him? She's like, nah. There's been a lot of blood today, and that I can't be bothered, to be honest. If I humiliate him so much that I have his ship and his crew, then his crew can't rebel against me because he gave the crew over to me, and the ship is mine. That's all I really care about. And I was like, I mean, all right, this guy's a slaver, but I mean, I guess if that's the way you want to play this is your story, babe. So okay.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, cool, appreciate you, Hawk. I'm like, hell yeah. And so she has her ship back, and she has her people. She has a crew and all this stuff. And then that's the end of her little tale.
That is, you said it right there. Like, this is your story, babe. That is what I think that is. It is not like I think that there are valid complaints about like the mechanics of this game and like the algorithm of this game and like how the way fights and maps work and stuff like that. I think that a lot of the disappointment from this game and the reason that it doesn't get the same replayability or the love is that this game, it is telling a story. You have some input on how that story goes, but it is not, it's intentionally not the way that the other two games in the series have been, in which your choices matter so much. It is, your choices mean a little bit, like it means a little bit in terms of how these characters interact with you. But like you can love Anders, for instance, so much. He's gonna blow up the Chantry.
Yeah.
You can love like Meryl so much. Like she's gonna
build
use the Alluvian. It's whether or not you want to be involved in those things, whether or not you want to support your friends in those things, and whether or not you like whether or not they in turn support you in what you're doing, that you have control over. You're not changing the fate of the world. You're not making grandiose alterations to the timeline. And that is kind of that's kind of the story here, is that like you're just a guy. You're not.
Yeah. You are a there are I think the part of that is we've mentioned this before, is that this game is side quests. I today have been pretty interested before I've been playing it whilst I was at work. I was thinking like, how quickly can I finish the game if I just do the MSQ? Like if I just do the main story quest and I ignore everything, how quickly can I get through this game? Because I think it's about it'll probably be like 5 hours. I think I could probably clean this game in. And my save file currently is at 36. Just because it is
Wow, 36. That's it. Crazy.
Yeah, and a lot of
Oh
that
my
is
God.
because I leave it on and I go do other stuff. This game is, your companions have all of this interesting stuff going on, and you're kind of there for the ride a little bit. And then stuff is kind of going on around you, and you just so happen to be important because you're in the right place at the right time. But otherwise, yeah, you're not. You're just a blurry mess now.
I know. I can't make it.
I know. All right.
Oh well.
Which is fine. I'm okay with that type of story. Again,
no, I am too.
You
just, I wasn't bringing it up to be negative about it. I just think that it's what the story is, and
a lot of characters make decisions off screen and don't tell you about it until it's happening. Again, Anders does that. The first Enchanter does that. Isabella does that.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of lead in to, which is why I think Sebastian's interesting.
Yeah.
Because you can tell Sebastian to go back to Starkhaven, or you can tell him to wait in the Chantry. And I told him to wait in the Chantry because I was like, you're going to be a shit prince because you're so wishy-washy and you don't know what you want. So stay here in the Chantry, live this, even though the Grand Cleric is like, I don't want you in the Chantry because you're so wishy-washy. I don't want you here because your promise, your vows mean nothing. And I like, and then, his big decision is kill Anders now or I'm going. And I think that's, you are making impacts on him and who he is and his kind of relationship. You're not watching him just kind of go through shit. Yeah. You are heavily impacting, his life. But I don't think it's a net negative, because I didn't really notice it. It's my first time doing it, so I was just kind of having fun. I think this game is strongest on its first run. If you were to pull it like that, where I think Origins might be stronger on additional runs where you're like, I'm going to see how far I can push this angle. And then you're doing that stuff and then you kind of feel it later. I think this one is the best on the first run when you're like, wow. And then the next time you're doing it, it's like, I wonder if I can do this. I wonder how far I can push this. And it's like, oh, I can't. Okay. Because in Origins, you can have characters leave early because they're like, I hate your vibe. This sucks. I'm going to bounce. But then in 2, it's like you just kind of move into rivalry, which I do think is a brilliant mechanic. I think rivalry is really, really strong.
It's a brilliant mechanic. It just needed a little more time to cook.
It needed another year in the oven, dude.
It needed another year in the oven. That's all it is. The game is beautifully written. It just needed a little extra time.
Okay. First things first. What else? We've done Meryl, Varric. We've done Isabel, Fenris, Sebastian.
Aveline. We did Aveline.
We didn't do Aveline.
Oh.
We didn't. We mentioned Aveline and that she's a good character. We didn't do it. She is a great story because she is getting because Cullen, the disgusting little whelp. God, I hate this man.
Fuck him.
He
awful. He
sends you a message saying that he's going to fire her because she doesn't have control of her people. And then you go to her and you're like, hey, dude, what is this I'm hearing about you not having control of people? Whenever I see you, you seem so on top of it. And she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? My people love me. And then you go around and you find a bunch of them on patrols and they're like, I fucking love Aveline. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we love
great.
Working for her is the best.
Yeah. And then you go to her husband and you're like, is she showing favoritism? And he's like, you caught me in the middle of a bandit raid. No, it's not favoritism. Like, she treats me...
No, she puts me in...
to work like I am doing the hard shifts. She shows no favoritism. She just puts me where my skill set is, as she does with everyone. And then, turns out that the old guard captain that you seceded.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the right word? Seceded? No, you kicked him out of the fucking thing. Yeah. Turns out it's him, and he is rallying everyone behind you by sowing dissent amongst her ranks, lying to everyone, and has got a bunch of old Templars and people who don't know what she's like in a scene which I thought was very funny when you go to confront him, because there's a bunch of people being like, is that the fucking champion of Kirkwall who's just walked into this building right now? Because she seems so angry. And then there's people, you can see people in the background as you're talking to the old guard captain leave. They're like, this is not fucking worth it. I don't like this guy enough. This woman has walked in with a mace. My skull is going to be on the floor. I'm actually good. And I thought that was super funny. You fight him because he is just trying to get it so she's kicked out. You stop them. Her whole team is like, yeah, no, we love her. So then Cullen is like, okay, fine. I was wrong, I guess. I spit on him because I think he's the worst. It turns out that her and the guy that you got her together with in Act 2, they're married now, which is cute.
Yeah.
And that's her little storyline, which I thought was fun. Also, there's a quest line which I love called Questioning Beliefs that every single character has after their Act 3, if their friendship is high enough. I didn't get this with Meryl, but I did get it with everyone else, except for Fenris, obviously. It's just a thing where you go and they're like questioning if their story had a conclusion that they're happy with. And I thought that's a really cool quest line to have, is this like really them cute. Questioning like their whole thing. And I thought that was fun. Again, I thought Sebastian's was really good because he's very happy in the Chantry, but is also like, yeah, but shouldn't I be leading? And it's like, this is your decision. Shaking him. You have to make your decision yourself.
Yeah, I got it with everybody except Sebastian, who didn't exist to me.
But you see Liliana if you do Sebastian's quest line.
I know.
So fun.
And that's where you see we see it, I guess, earlier as well, when we see in the Felicia Day appearance.
Yeah.
But you see the little Mass Effect guys on the wall, hanging on the wall.
What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
When you see Liliana, I can't in the Chantry in Orlais in Dragon Age 2, you see like I'm pretty sure that's what it is. You see it's like some creature from Mass Effect.
Oh my god, that's so cool. I don't even know. I'm checking right now.
It's like hanging on the wall.
Hanging on the wall.
I'm second guessing my memory right now, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. You see.
Okay. Dragon Age 2 Mass Effect references. I'm googling it. Okay, that's a Dragon Age 2 reference in Mass Effect. Give me the opposite. Wait. Oh my god, yeah, there is. There's
they're hanging on the wall, and they're like, it's like the alien heads, right? It's like,
yeah, it is.
Yeah. It's, okay. Oh god.
Yeah.
I really
Rex
thought I made
one of them. No, Rex is one of them, and I can't remember what their race is called. Krogan. Wow, that's cool.
Yes. There's Krogans.
That's really fun. I didn't notice that. That's really neat. Speaking of Origins characters, a group of Antivan crows were like, "Hey, we have we've got an assassin who we've cornered," and I'm like, "Oh my god!" And he's like, "Yeah, he's been murdering a bunch of people, and he's super hyper
Murder
evil.
of Crows. You are doing Murder of Crows in Act 3. Oh my god, I forgot to talk about it in Act 2. I think.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could get it earlier.
You
But
can
I guess
do
it's
it.
a thing that,
Yeah, you can do it. I think any time in Act 2 or 3,
oh, that's so
whatever.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you go through this whole thing, and then you find Zevran, and Zevran's
Yeah.
like, "What did they tell you this time?" And then it's being so fun. I had Isabella with me, and they have great interactions because Isabella is also in Mass Effect Origins. Dragon Age Origins, which I didn't know. I forgot about because she's the one who can teach you swashbuckling in Origins, and they talk a bunch. It's very funny. If you have Isabel and Zevran in the party, they go have sex at the end, and I think, and it's very, very good.
And
I
you
love
can join them.
R.I.P. I was dating Anders, unfortunately.
You can join them. You can have, I think, up to a foursome if you have the right people in your party at the time of the interaction.
Crazy. Good heavens.
Mm-hmm.
Man, what a crew. I love the Dragon Age 2 crew. I love the Kirkwall gang. They're all feral.
They're all unbelievable. It's great.
That's very fun. Okay, just to do it. Anders, Aveline, Bethany, Carver aren't in it. Fenris, Isabel, Meryl, Sebastian, Varric. That's all the companions.
That's it.
All the companions. We talked about Isabella's in it. Zevran's in it. In this mission with Zevran, because I wrote this down. Zevran, the first time he leaves, because they have sex at the end, but the first time he leaves, if you have Isabel in the party, she says, "You're leaving? What about sex?" That is so funny. I love Isabel. If you go to meet your uncle, he apologizes for everything. And I thought that was fun, but also he's only apologizing because I have money and my mom's dead. So a red for him, I think. Demon's going to get Mirror. Old guard captain is trying to unseat Aveline. You go to a very haunted house. There's Varric. Killed the whole clan. Karan kidnaps Bethany in one of the missions beforehand, which is fun because I couldn't really remember who he was, but then Hawk is like, wait, what the fuck? I saved your life. What are you doing? And then he's like, I'm sorry, I didn't realize this was your sister. I apologize, buddy. And I'm like, yeah, dude, right now, let her go. And he's like, okay, sorry. And then this woman called Grace, who you also save in Act 1, who's one of the blood mages, she then is like, no, you killed the person that taught me everything. Now you're done, baby. And then she kills Karan, and then a bunch of people fight you, and you slaughter all them. And then Cullen meets up with you and is like, so it went well, did it? And I'm like, hey, dude, go kill yourself. I hate you. I
hate you so much. Stop talking.
I hate you so much. Bowden leaves. Bowden leaves with Sandal because he's like, I'm so sorry. It's getting really bad. But like in Kirkwall, I can't stay here. And Sandal has an offer from Orlais to go and learn, and because they want essentially him to teach them how he's doing all this stuff, but also just kind of figure out how he's able to do all this. Which is cute. I like them.
Cute and scary, terrifying, actually.
A little bit, yeah. But I mean, I trust the pair of them. I think they'll be fine. I mean, even I was speaking to Bodan before, and he said that Sandal was in a circle for a bit, which he was because he's in the circle in Awakening. And then he was like, yeah, the Templars are looking at him too weird, so I decided to just take him out of there. And I'm like, hey, listen, if you can do that, you can take on Orlais. Like, if you can remove Sandal from a circle tower, you're probably fine.
Yeah.
Sebastian leaves an Anders mission. Oh, shit. For some... oh, my God. A voice acting thing that I picked up on. Is this in... What quest is this in? This because I had Fainreal helped a woman who was captured because he writes to you about that. I put strongest voice acting because someone said, "Duh, I'm gonna have you good and deep," and it's the stupidest line read I've ever heard. I immediately then wrote Liliana after, so I think that might have been during Sebastian's quest. I just thought that was funny enough to mention. Babe, I think that's it. We did it, and then after we do all of our stuff, it cuts. Oh, also, again, more notes about Sebastian, that he just calls the Mage Rebellion ridiculous in a cutscene. He's like, oh yeah, these mages with their ridiculous rebellion, and I'm like, we need this character, man. We need this character he's not tortured to be against mages. He's just fundamentally against them. He
genuinely believes that the circle is right.
And it's like, because the thing is, whenever Fenris talks, it's like, yeah, dude, I'm sorry that you went through that. Of course you're going to be against them. But then when Sebastian talks, it's like, that's your conservative kind of bigoted.
It's like,
cousin.
Oh my God, it's like your fucking uncle is talking and you're like,
exactly.
Jesus Christ.
I think I like the fact that not a lot of people like him, because I think that proves that he plays an important role in the ecosystem of the party, of being someone who is who goes against a lot of things that people.
I wish that his story was compelling enough for me to be grabbed.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
You know, it may have been, it just didn't grab me.
Yeah.
But
But I still think that he's a good character. I think he's a good character. I think that he works in a
yeah.
All
right. I got questions.
We have a lot of questions. Yeah.
Got a lot of them.
Shoot.
And they're good. They're good questions.
Delicious.
Okay. Specifically, this one is for you. The first question is for Robin directly. Which non-party character or plot thread would you most like to see followed up on?
Non-party character?
Inquisition. So a non-party character that you met in 2. Like, okay. So like in Origins, it's like, we want the werewolf thing. We want Tegan and the werewolves and like things like that. Like, who would you want to see?
That's interesting, because to me, this game is exclusively your party and then the main plot. I really see so little outside of that. I think, because I feel like I don't have a huge amount of choices, I think, Jules, the thing that this is a weird one.
Mm-hmm.
Whilst scurrying through Lowtown, I got accosted by a stupid amount of people who were all named followers of She. And I never actually found out who that was. I got like a bloodied note. I thought it was Knight Commander Meredith. It's not. I went in. I think it's a demon who's just.
It is a demon.
That's boring. I want them to retcon that and do something interesting with it. You know what I would love? This, admittedly, this is not party, but I would really like to see the Aristoc is dead, and also the Cerebars, who I found interesting, were dead. Damn it. So I guess that doesn't follow through. Wow, this is actually pretty hard. I don't think I found many people that interesting in this game, outside of the party, who I found the most interesting people on the planet.
Yep.
Yeah.
My answer.
Who's yours?
My answer would be that the people that are there to hire us in the beginning.
Oh yeah.
You have the smuggler's ring and you have
the mercenaries.
The mercenaries. I would love to get to know them and like have them evolve through the game with us, and to kind of like I think that if the game had more time, I think that probably would have been a thing that would have happened.
Yeah.
And I would have loved to see that go on.
I think there are like kind of things that I found interesting in this game that I kind of I hope that comes back. A lot of them are like, they aren't party member plot threads, but they are things that happen. Like, I'd like something to do with Red Lyrium to be coming, or like, I want to know what the place that we found. We don't know anything about that, and we never find out in the game. It's just like, we found a primordial place, and it has Red Lyrium and this weird idol, and then it's like, oh, okay, cool. And I would love to be like, what the fuck was that though? Like, what happened with it? I think that would be fun to go into. I want to know what the fuck's the deal with the Black Emporium. It's just a DLC shop, but like, I know that we don't really ever find out, and I know that it's Inquisition, but I kind of would like some, like, a quest to do with it, because I think that would make it more than just like a, hey, do you want the most powerful items in the game kind of quest log, which is what it is to me at the minute. That would be fun. I would like to know what happened to the Quinari after they left, like, because they were like, oh, we'll be back. Well, I mean, you know, the idea is that they'll be back and this wouldn't be the last fight, but then 3 years went by and then we didn't hear a word from them. There are a couple of Quinari just kind of hanging out on the streets. I was finding swords for this one guy. I want to know what this herbalist was doing, because I killed a high dragon, like an ancient dragon for him, and then I delivered blood, and he was like, oh, thank you, here's some stuff. By the way, that fight was fucking awesome. I don't know if you did the high dragon fight.
Yeah.
Woof. It was hard, but
really hard.
Super fair. And like, I knew when characters were dying, I was like, yeah, that's my fault that I didn't position them right. Unlike the stupid fucking blood mage and giant demon 100,000 shades, where I'm like, yeah, I'm dying because there's 100,000
shades, and that's the entire fight.
You're like, oh, what if we gave them, like, what if we overwhelmed them with numbers? And it's like, that's not interesting.
Yeah.
Do something fun with it, which that dragon fight did. Dragon fight was brilliant.
I'm really excited by all your wishes, though, because I will tell you, spoiler free, every single one of your wishes comes true that you've said out loud to me. And that actually, I know that you've said that you are concerned that you, because you didn't like Inquisition, the game that we're going to play, that you won't like it. I am now thinking that all of the narrative things that you are wanting follow-up to, you just probably didn't catch because it was not
in a game.
Yeah.
This is the thing
everything you just said as a want is a thing that happens.
That's cool. This is going to be a thing that we're going to talk about during Inquisition. A lot of people say that Inquisition is the starter game. Go with Inquisition and then go backwards.
Crazy. That's not what
because everyone always says it's the best one. I played Inquisition. I played a bit of...
It's like a really common thing to say that Origins is the only game that's good in the series. And that Inquisition is just happens to be the better... It's the best graphics. It's like the most... It's like the most approachable.
People are like, it's the most approachable, so you start with that. But when I was playing Inquisition... Crazy spoilers, but Hawk does turn up in it. And I was going from, this game is fine, to I've never been more instantly bought out of a game than have a huge moment because your character from a previous game is here right now. And I was like, I don't care anymore because that's not my guy. And I don't think that it's a good starter game. So I do actually think that I'm going to like it. I'm gonna like it this time around because I'm invested in the world, which is also coming around to the fact that the Veilgaurd is making the fact that none of your choices in previous games really matter.
We can't.
I know we can't.
We can't talk about that yet because we don't know how accurate that is yet, and I can't. And I can't let myself, I can't be disappointed this early. I can't do it.
Well, I just mean like it's going to the world that I'm excited about.
I know.
Like that's a
Yes,
thing
and
that I
I
think is
agree.
going to be cool.
I agree.
But we won't talk about that's the only
All
thing.
right. We got more
okay,
questions.
That's my answer.
I got more questions for you. Okay.
I'd also love to see Kirkwall full stop again, but I know that's essentially a companion because much like anything set in New York City, Kirkwall is a companion character in this game.
It is. Okay. How do you feel about the overarching theme of tragedy in Hawk's life? In that nothing ever goes right. This is more of Skater Monkey. This is more of a comment than a question, and I love that because, yeah, it's Hawk's life is a tragedy. Yeah. Is it a compliment to the story? Is it supposed to represent on a micro scale the downfall of Kirkwall? Was it necessary to lose their sibling, their other sibling, their mother? And yeah, it was necessary because this, I think, unlike the other games, we are in, and I don't know that the marketing of this game had any attempt to communicate what this game was, but this game is different. And it's different for a reason. This is the one story in the game that's on a rail. You are telling you are telling an extremely specific story, and it is always going to end up this tragic. And yes, it is that Hawk is not the chosen one. Hawk is not special. Hawk is not magical. Hawk does not have any otherworldly kind of gifts thrust upon them. Hawk is just a person and is thrust into this thing and is trying, but it's always going to be against them. And that's and yeah, so I think that the never-ending slew of tragedy that comes Hawk's way is not only intentional but is part of the story in a positive way, because it is telling us this story that like this is what we get when it's just a refugee who settled here and is trying to live, like, and then that's it.
And the thing with that, with this game being on rails, I actually think that one of the biggest strengths in this game is the fact that it's like you are playing a human. This is your backstory, and then you go through and you live this one person's awful life that is pushing you to extremism. Like, that's kind of a big point of the game, is like, and it's Anders's whole thesis. There cannot be compromise. You go one extreme or you go the other, and that's Hawk's whole life. Is, the Darkspawn kill your sibling, a blood mage kills your mother, the Templars will take one of your siblings, or they'll die in the deep roads. It's like, it's like every angle of your life is being pushed to an extreme.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's the thing which I think is one of the biggest strengths of the game.
Yes.
Rather than Grey Warden, you are the chosen one. Like, your thing, like, you can characterize your guy a bunch, but nothing happens to your guy. Nothing happens to your Grey Warden. Your Grey Warden can experience a lot and be characterized really well. But in this, it's like your Hawk is experiencing a lot. There's a lot of story that is built there for you. There are things that happen just like every companion story. There is a Hawk story as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I agree with you there. And I agree with you in a way that I didn't until you just said that. I think that like part of the reason why I thought that there are some backstories in Origins that I felt got more than
Mm-hmm.
others. I think that in the same vein, Hawk is always getting Hawk's story
Yeah.
in
You know
this.
what? That's actually crazy. That's so interesting that I very sternly said your Grey Warden can do a lot, but nothing happens to your Grey Warden, which is only true if you're a mage Grey Warden. And it's like,
Mm.
and that's the downfall of that. Is like, I mean, a lot happened to, Valeria because it was her home and she went back and reclaimed it and did all this, and it was like a big moment. But in this,
They
they really
really, yeah,
hem in on like, this is what happens to Hawk. This is
yeah.
like, and even with that, there's variations depending on who you are. The whole thing's good. It's really strong. I
It's
do. And I know, and the problem is like, I have spent the past few weeks just being disappointed with this game constantly. And I came in today being like, I have had both the worst fight, one of the worst experiences of a mechanical combat ever, and I really liked the High Dragon fight. And it's because the game story is so tight, has so much
yeah.
potential to do shit,
It's got so
and I
much.
love it. I think
Yeah.
it's great. I love this
If
whole
they just
crew.
had like
Genuinely upset when I saw credits roll, and I'm like, I'm not going to see my guys again. Those are
I
my
know.
boys, That's my
Yeah.
team. Um,
Yeah.
I'm upset about it because I know Inquisition Gang, and I don't care for them the way I care for the
Well,
Kirkwall people.
take a pin out of that and
All right,
get clear your head. All right.
damn.
So, all right, here's this. How do you feel about the fact, and we answered this a little bit, or I think we did. How do you feel about the fact that Meredith's madness was just red lyrium? And I think we kind of touched on this, and I don't think that just lyrium is actually the answer here. I think it is that Meredith, like we kind of said before, like Bartrand, was already a bad, like was already a corrupted person, was already
Yeah,
anti-mage, was already obsessed with power, was already all those things, got in contact with red lyrium, and all of those terrible bits of Meredith became
yeah,
unmitigated and supernaturally emphasized.
yeah.
And
Do you know what I think
that's what
is
I see.
an interesting thing when it comes to Meredith in
What?
Act Two? Well, I mentioned the Tranquil Solution earlier, and we've mentioned it a few times.
Yes.
You find a note on the Templar who's doing it that says the Grand Cleric and Knight Commander Meredith did not sign off on it, and they were like, "No, that's that's like a stupid, shitty idea."
Yeah.
But then in Act 3, she's like all for it and is talking about it all the time. And like, there is characterization there that her feelings are just so exacerbated, but she was already a bad person. One of the first times you come across her, she's like,
Yeah.
one of the first times you hear about her, it's because she's locking all the fucking people out of all the refugees out, and she's like,
Oh, right.
all the mages'
Exactly.
lives suck because she's
Yeah.
really bad. And so I don't think it's all red lyrium. I think it is just
No.
exacerbating. It's exacerbating her hatred and her
Yeah.
paranoia of all these things, because she gets it in those 3 years between Acts 2 and 3.
Yeah.
We also did miss one. If you had to pick a non-romanceable character to romance, who would it be and why?
In this game specifically,
Pick Aveline, I think. Because I think having her Act 2 story not be about someone else but be about
you would be
I think that's
so
fun.
cute.
It would be very cute.
And it would
And
just
I
be
think
it
you
would
could
be
still...
Varric. Varric would take your place in the
Yeah.
setting up you
And I
to
think you having like a
face.
rom-com thing, and I think it would make sense still, because in Act 3, when the old guard captain is turning everyone against you, it's because it's you who also pushed him out of the thing.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
he's still
It
trying to
would
get
make
at
sense.
you. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, they're going soft
Yep.
because the person who is basically a light criminal mercenary going around doing all this stuff, the champion of Kirkwall. Yeah, do you know that she's banging them? That's why she's the guard captain, is because they're banging the champion of Kirkwall. And like that's how all of that exacerbates in Act 3.
Yeah.
I think that will be interesting and cool.
I think I like Aveline's story the way it is. I think that my preference would be, you know what? I would love a romance with one of the people in the whorehouse. I think that
That would be fun.
that you meet in
Yeah,
Act 1.
I would like some story with someone in the
In the whorehouse,
in
especially
the Blooming
because
Rose. Is it?
you have that like in the Blooming Rose the like excellent interaction with the guy who like that you help,
Yeah.
that helps you like recover that woman who got murdered like really early on. I don't know. I think that would be, especially because you're kind of also like a a criminal at that point too. Like, I think it would be cool to
Yeah.
have a connection there.
I
Yeah.
also think that would be cool. I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
Um,
Dylan has a question that I think is super fucking awesome and that I have a very strong opinion on, which is
I definitely have a different opinion to you, I think.
would DA2 be improved by giving it DAO's mechanics wholesale?
So that's Dragon Age 2 and Dragon Age Origins, just
Yeah.
because you used abbreviation there, so I'm just clearing it up.
Yeah. And the answer is no, because the mechanics of DA2 are good. It's just that the fucking like the fight algorithm is bad. I like the fight. I like the mechanics of the fight in 2, and I like the way that the fights work. I like the way the spells and abilities work. I wouldn't want to change that. It's just that they didn't have enough time to build out the maps. They didn't have enough time to program like a reasonable amount of people to spawn for fights and like what that would look like in any capacity. And so they didn't do that. And so like I think I think the mechanics of your hawk fighting are good and awesome. I think it's just that there's nothing interesting for them to fight. Does that make sense? Like
It absolutely does.
I don't think I would replace it with Origins fight mechanics. I would instead change the fucking maps and the algorithm for
That's 2. You have mentioned this a lot, and I think this is interesting because I think I'm actually into the repeating maps. I think it's good. There are some times when I think it's bad, like going into an area and having the map of a completely separate area load, and you're like, well, this is a different manor house. Why am I getting the exact same loadout as a previous manor house that I've been in? That doesn't make
Yeah,
any sense.
I don't hate it, but it gets confusing sometimes where it's like, I cleared, was I not here before? Did I not do this? Like it sometimes, like, even though I know that the maps repeat, there are times where I'm like, am I in the wrong place?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
However, Comor, I disagree. I think it would be better. I think here's the thing. I am not talking if you took DA2 as it was and put in Origins' mechanics, would it be better? No, in that case, it would be exactly the same game.
Yeah.
Because it's the monsters. If we're talking about, hey, early on in dev cycle, when they were like, should we keep DAO's mechanics? I would say yes. I would say yes, keep the mechanics, get a new coat of paint. And they did that to a degree, but I'm talking like I want, like I want you to keep like enemy health values, all of the back end stuff keep, because that's great. I never felt too overwhelmed in Origins, and if I did, it was fun, and it was like, oh shit, how am I gonna get out of this sticky wicket? Yeah, that's right, baby, sticky wicket. It's a phrase that we're using from now on.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, it's the thing for me is, you know what? Maybe this is because I was playing a warrior, and maybe warrior just isn't very fun. Oh, holy shit, I was so bored for so many fights, because I would do my opening combo, and then I would wait for my basic attack to kill people or my shit to load, because I had as whatever level I was at the end, 24 or whatever, I had like 7 things that I could do. Most of my shit was sustained abilities, and I thought that was I like sustained abilities as an idea, but most of my shit was sustained, and I thought it was pretty dull. And I was playing a dull class. I was playing a fucking sword and board paladin till the end. But there's shit that I kind of wish that I could have done that I know can be done, because Alistair did it in 1, and I thought that was very fun. Also, why is it called Dragon Age 2? Because wasn't the working title Dragon Age Exodus, which is way better?
Fuck off. No.
What are you talking about? You're wrong, first of all. Are you saying no to Dragon Age Exodus is not better than Dragon Age 2?
No, I'm saying that that's not the name of this game. That may have been a working title. It may have been a thought in the air.
The working title for the game was Dragon Age Exodus. It could be
we
found in some
all
of the game's
are aware
files.
of that. It's not the name of this game, because
but why is it called 2?
This
That's
game
weak.
does not earn the title Dragon Age. No, because that is a game about refugees. And this is kind of a game about refugees, but it's not. It's not. Because you're done being a refugee by the prologue's end.
Yeah, but it's the only one without a title.
And that is because they couldn't come up with the right title by the time the game launched. And that is what we have to live with. We have to sit with that. We have to, as fans of the game, understand that being a fan of Dragon Age 2 means being a fan of something uncomfortable. You have to understand that things don't make sense, and that maybe people didn't care about this game, including the people who made it.
Damn. I was really excited to be very angrily like, no, do you know what we're gonna do, everyone? I am going to call the game Dragon Age Exodus. If you want me to pay attention to you in the Discord, you have to call it Dragon Age Exodus.
No.
But then you made it into a whole philosophical thing about standing next to the underdog, and now I have to support you. I have no choice.
Yeah, you do.
Fucking
I'm
asshole.
so sorry. I
have
do
a question for you.
Yeah.
Who is your favorite companion in this game and subsequent DLCs? In like, I'm not talking romance. I'm talking story. Like, I mean, Felicia.
Meryl. Meryl, 100%.
Wow.
Meryl is actually not my favorite romance by a lot. I like her romance, but I think Fenris's is like. I think Fenris's is so romantic. It's sick. Yeah. Meryl is just like you are kind of like fully babying her through not only life and romance and everything, and then in order to like get her to like you just have to like kind of enable her to kill her entire family. And
Mm.
like it is it's a compelling story, I think. It's just not it's not a romance. Like there's no like it's a compelling story, but if you wind up with Meryl in the end, you have to know that you're not in a rom-com. You are in a horror film, and
Yeah.
you are like what stands between your partner and their abyss.
Mm.
And that is how that romance ends
Ugh.
when you do stay with Meryl. And that is its own story. It's still very cool and interesting, but
Yeah.
it's not to me a romance. Like the way that Fenris is like that, like he goes through this whole arc of like, I want to be with you, but I am so broken, and that like and then like leaves you, and then
Oh.
you just
Yeah.
believing in him and
Yeah.
supporting
Yeah.
him like kind of pulls him back in to the point where he can stand by your side in a fight against something that he doesn't believe in,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
because he loves you so much, he's
Yeah.
willing to take the leap on it. That to me, that's a romance.
Yeah.
Meryl's story is devastating and interesting, and I love it. And I think it's exceptional. It's not a romance, and so that's my answer.
Nice. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's what I
Yeah.
was just wondering. You're so interesting and have good fun, interesting points. I was curious.
Yeah. Do you want to know something?
I'd love to know something.
We're gonna play the intro to Inquisition next week.
We are.
I love to. I do genuinely like it, and playing it this time around, I do feel like more appreciation for it. I understand all of the complaints that people have about it. I share them. I'm in on it. I get it. I'm into it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of faults with this game, and it's
So
kind of really hard to ignore. I get that you may not love Inquisition. I think you're gonna like it better than you did,
I think I'm gonna like it better. I
But-
think I'm gonna really enjoy it this time around.
but you may not love it. I am a fucking Inquisition lover. I love that
Yeah.
game so much. I'm gonna be so fucking insufferable, and I am so excited to be so fucking insufferable about this game. This is my time to be alive is upon us.
This is the
Yeah.
one. So
Oh,
next
goodness.
week
Okay.
we are going to be doing
Yeah.
the prologue,
Yep.
Wrath of Heaven, and then The Threat Remains
Yeah.
is what we're doing. Our rules for Dragon Age Inquisition: Haven / Skyhold as much as you like, in-game DLC content as much or as little as you like.
Yes.
So you get to do as much.
And
as you like.
to state, like, our DLC that is like that we are doing a separate episode for are the Descent and the Jaws of Hakon and Trespasser.
Trespasser is an expansion, though, right? It's not a DLC. Would you call it an expansion rather than a DLC? Like Awakening
It's still a DLC. It is Trespasser is it's not more or less than, it's not quite as different as how Awakening was, where it was like a
Yeah.
full separate game.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is like it's relative to everything else.
Mhm.
I would just say that, shoot, was it, what was I saying?
You're talking about how much you love it,
I
the
was. That's
DLCs,
true.
how the
Um,
Trespasser, how it's not like Awakening
well, no, but
Origins.
before that, I was saying something. It doesn't matter.
It's very late for us.
It's gonna be great. Oh, that's right. I was gonna say that although we have the prologue next week and the Wrath of Heaven, which is like
The first like 2 missions or whatever.
it's just it's just the tutorial of the game and like the introduction to Haven. So
Yeah.
there's not much there. But I know that a lot of people are playing ahead of us, and I don't blame them. And I know that a lot of people have asked about tips about quote unquote getting out of the hinterlands early. And I'm going to give this to all of us, and I'm going to put it in the chat, is that the hinterlands are, you want to, okay, this is not going to spoil much, but it's just, if you want to play the game and enjoy the hinterlands and enjoy the game, when Solus tells you that you have enough power to move on and to
Mhm.
go to the chantry, that's when you want to actually do it. If you want to do a little more, you want to explore enough to get the horses for the Inquisition.
Mhm.
And then you're good to go.
Very
And
good.
then that's it.
There is a question that I have, however,
Please.
this game has a mechanic called the war table where
Yeah.
you have to wait. Is it real world time or is it in-game time?
It's
Of
in
like up to 8 hours
it's
for a
in
thing to unlock.
it's okay, so it's real world time, meaning that like if you unlock something and then you close the game, the clock is still ticking. So when you
Yeah.
open the game again, like
It will be
it will
those things will
be,
happen.
yeah, at time.
Now there is a mod which removes that aspect of it and everything just unlocks immediately. Do you recommend to download it or do you want us to just
No.
wait the real
What
world
I
time?
do recommend is that you look for a mod to increase the rate of party banter, because Inquisition has the
Okay.
best written party banter of any of these games, but it for some reason is not, it's not set to trigger as often as it should.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of like certain circumstances. So there's like I know
Alright.
that there's an increase in
Alright.
party banter, and you should do that one.
Okay. I'm opening up my
Yeah.
my mod folder right now.
The war table one, as long as you participate with the war table, it will not, you're gonna
Gonna be
unlock
fine.
everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Very good.
Yeah.
Well, that's us, baby.
Fuck. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
We are on the final game that is currently released in the year of our Lord 2024, the 5th of October. So this is arguably one of the last times we can say that. Since since the Veilgaurd is coming out on the 31st of October, right? It's coming out 31st of October.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's especially poignant to say
Idiot
your
fucking bitch
struggles.
losers. No, we need to insult them first. We
Yeah,
need to make sure
fuck
they know
you.
that we're talking to them. Pathetic, wimpy ass, red lyrium having losers.
You flaccid pieces of shit.
You
wimpy.
flaccid Felicia Day.
Why are you? Don't bring Felicia Day to this.
Don't bring Felicia Day into it. I apologize. Felicia Day. You Cullen loving.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Get him. That's right.
You Cullen loving, pathetic ass.
Wet. Soppy.
Wet tissue paper on a bathroom ceiling ass losers.
Your
struggles
have only
just begun. I'm gonna miss insulting them. That's a shame.
I know. We're have a whole new thing next time.